My name is JT Flowers. I'm the Director of Government Affairs and Communications for the Albina Vision Trust. We received a clean energy grant for the development of our inaugural 94-unit affordable housing development, Albina 1. The clean energy grant we received from PCEF will enable us to do a number of things to Albina 1, which is, again, our 94-unit family-oriented affordable housing development. It will allow us to put thicker windows, upgraded windows in the building to retain more heat and retain cooling during hot times, cold times. It will allow us to put in a mini split system, which again will provide air conditioning and heating throughout the year for residents. It will allow us to add additional insulation to the exterior of the building to again boost energy efficiency. It will also allow us to put in a heat pump water heating system, which means there will be no gas in our building thanks to PCEF. And of course, it will allow us to put solar panels on our roof. The thing that most excites me and that excites us about this work and this grant in particular is when we think about and talk about affordable housing development, so often we do it in an almost survivalistic context, right? We talk about the bare minimum that we can provide people with so that they have an affordable place to live. But when we think about the meaning of the word home, it is so much deeper than simply transitioning people into four walls, into a space that they can lay their head down at night and have a hot meal. It's really about grounding people in a space that they not only feel safe in, they not only feel nurtured in, but that they feel proud to live in. And what this grant will help enable us to do for residents of our first development is make sure that everything in the building is facilitated around the joy and the generational well-being of every single person who walks through the building's doors. And that matters really deeply to us. What does PCEF mean to me? You know, PCEF is really it's a once-in-a-lifetime funding mechanism for marginalized communities. We've never seen anything like this on a national level. What it means for the future of our city is that we are not only going to be prioritizing clean energy, sustainability, renewable agriculture, we're also going to be really hyper-focused on making sure that the benefits of all of those silos of activity are explicitly geared towards facilitating the well-being of our most marginalized communities. And nothing could be more important than that. We know that more often than not, communities like ours, historically displaced, marginalized communities, worker class communities, low income communities are pushed to the fringes of these conversations. So this fund really represents a monumental step forward for our city and a really defiant statement of what is possible when we band together and align underneath a common North Star. You know, specifically in the context of our work at the Albina Vision Trust, we're well aware that communities that live with any type of adjacency to a highway system like I-5, which cuts right through the middle of Albina, had bisected our district back in the 60s. Communities like ours have higher incidences of asthma. They have worse health outcomes, lower life expectancies because of the air that we're breathing. We know that globally, communities from the margins are those hardest hit and most deeply impacted by the climate crisis. So when we think about a fund that can generate hundreds of millions of dollars on an annual basis for us to invest into the communities most impacted by our changing world and our changing climate, what we're talking about is a funding mechanism for the generational viability of those communities themselves, not just for the survival of those communities, right, which is of course paramount, but an opportunity creation mechanism that will allow us to make sure that all of the innovation in this city, all of our most forward-thinking technological work is oriented towards bringing the most marginalized of us, not only along with us, but centering those folks, centering our communities in the way that we think about advancing as a society.